Hello there! It's time for something new on the channel. The summer heat is once again back to kill me, so I'm going to retreat into space and play some Quasimorph, because it just got its 1.0 release yesterday, and I have been eagerly waiting for it. If you've never seen this game before, Quasimorph is basically a turn-based top-down extraction shooter. That's the best way I can put it. So there's gonna be a lot of shooting, a lot of looting, and a whole lot of dying, because even though I've been playing this game for like 2 years, all the way through its early access, I am not good at it by any metric. You will see. Let's start a new game. I wiped all my saves for the occasion. And we're gonna be starting on normal. I imagine most of the veterans are going to be going with unfair. But the thing is, I am not that much of a masochist, and even normal is going to be brutally hard, you will see.
The history of humanity is written in tears and blood. Liars, tyrants, idealists, they all tried to bring happiness on the edge of a sword. We waited for liberation from the shackles of fate, and were ready to go through the last judgment for it. Not for the glorious death for the eternal kingdom, love, or the Lord, but for a way to step off the path of suffering. But when the apocalypse came, we shrugged our shoulders and started profiting from it as usual. The creatures lurking in the depths of space didn't seem scarier than our own world. Armed with the hope that the darkest hour comes before dawn, we try to survive until the first rays of the sun.
So here is Jane, she is our mission control. Gonna be the tutorial lady, and gonna be chiming in with some tips later on. Good morning, boss. Let's first restore memory after the diapause. During the ANCOM mission on Venus, we awakened a Quasimorph named Tetzlan. His Quasimorphs are still in our world now, which is weird. The news says nothing about our involvement. What's more, the corporates insist that Quasimorphosis is a fabrication, and claim that Tetzlan is a provocation by the civil resistance. We are now orbiting Phobos and have time to recover and figure out what to do next. Supplies on the spacecraft are running low, so we need to find ourselves some new profitable. Yeah, so basically, aliens called Quasimorphs are coming into this reality, and we kinda accidentally help them do that. You see, we actually start with positive reputation with them because that. And the civil resistance is a faction that everybody hates. They're basically communists, all in a big hive mind. They're actually pretty fun to hunt. And now the game asks you if you want to do the tutorial. I think what's interesting in Quasimorph is that there are actually upsides and downsides to doing the tutorial every single time. I think, at least anyway. The upside to me is that the tutorial mission is not random generated, but everything is placed. So you get all the things every single time. They give you a couple items to make you have a feel for them, which includes a couple of grenades, mines, and a turret. And if you're already familiar with the game, you're not going to be using them on the tutorial, and you can just keep them for later. I think that is pretty nice. But the downside is that, while this game is largely a sandbox, there are actually story missions. And if you do the tutorial, that kinda locks you on one of the story paths. So you can decide for yourself whether you want the tutorial or not. Personally, I'm going to say no to that this time. Supplies on the spacecraft are running low, so we need to find some new profitable contracts. We can start working for anyone and make them the dominant power in the system, or we can try to maintain the status quo for the sake of long-term profit from this apocalypse. We can start by returning the ANCOM PCPU from our cargo hold to its rightful owners, or taking it to somebody else. Another option is to try to land a blow against Tetzlan. There's a good chance that he has enemies on Venus, and they will contact us. It's up to you, boss. So here we are. Basically, this is a big space sandbox. Gonna stop the time. Because time is mercilessly going to be moving forward. And with it, every single faction is going to gradually get stronger. So we need to pick a direction to go in. These are all the factions over here. And their initial strength is randomized, I think. So right now, the Quasimorphs are in the lead. You see, we start with positive relation. Because it's thanks to us that they are here in the first place. Pretty sparse starting contracts. Interesting. I usually get more. Now the nice thing about Quasimorph is that you can just pick any one of these and decide that, hey, we're gonna be working for you. And then just keep looking for contracts that they offer. And the thing about that is whichever faction you decide to have is going to get a little head start. But all the others are also going to follow, so eventually it's going to be evening out. But your chosen faction will kinda have an advantage. That's the nice thing of it. So the main players here are Teslan. We got Ancom, which you are naturally gravitating towards, especially if you do the tutorial. We got SBN. We got the Civil Resistance. I know these guys actually have story missions and a separate ending if you end up helping them, but they are communists. Why would you want to help them? We got Realware. The Unchained Belt are pirates. Simple and easy. And I think all the others are just minor factions. Okay, so Teslan also wants the PCPU that we have, same as Ancom. And Realware also wants it, huh? You know, in the early access I never really paid much attention to the story. Just treated this game as a sandbox. And that was all well and good. But maybe this time around I give it to Realware. See what happens with it. We should go and subscribe to one of these corporations, so we know what we are looking for. Each of them has its own gimmick. You're gonna learn it in time. Personally, I like DLT, because they are big on energy weapons. If you're more about the chemical side of things, you can go with Daydream Chem. The last run I did was with Franche Comte. That's nice, little prison guard aesthetic. Sunlight Coven is just full of religious nuts. But they have pretty good booze, and they are happy to share it with you. And alcohol is going to be your friend here. When we're fighting against the Quasimorphs, you will see. You know what, let's go with Realware. If something else happens along the way, we might switch sides. So let's look at the map. Oh, so you're gonna be like that, huh? Well, okay. Most of the missions are extremely far away, so we're not gonna be going there. And anyway, at the early game, you actually want to stay around Mars as much as possible, because the main gimmick of this game is that the longer you spend on a map, the higher the chance of calling in the Quasimorphs every time something dies. And those are actually pretty tough enemies, especially early on. And actually, each area of influence of these different planets actually have their own types of Quasimorphs. so you actually need to learn about them as well, because they each have different weaknesses. So, at the very beginning, we're just gonna stay around here and go between Mars, Phobos and Deimos until something spawns. So let's go to Hypnos and see if my theory is correct. Here we got our operators. We start with 4, but we're gonna be able to unlock a whole lot more later. And all of these are clones, so don't shed a tear when they die, because they are going to die a lot. We'll just clone them again. And each of them has their own unique skill, plus whatever class you give them. So we got Francis, who gives more durability to weapons. That's very nice when you're running full auto weapons that are actually eating through their durability. We got Victoria, she's more of a sniper, with increased weapon range. We got Percy, who I think is everyone's favorite, because he naturally has armor. It's almost like a complete armor set, even while he's naked. And it all stacks. Plus, I think he has the highest health of them all. And finally we got Isabella, who basically only exists for you to try out cannibalism. Don't really use her all that much. But when you have access to augments, I actually like to replace her legs with spider legs. Give her those cyberpunk mantis arms, and then she becomes a menace. But that's a little ways away. Let's bring Francis now. Now you select a class. You only have to do this once for a fresh clone. We start with 2 basic classes. We got Scouts of Hades. That's the basic shooty one. More focused on SMGs, shotguns and assault rifles. And we got Eclipse Blades, which is all about the melee and the cannibalism. And then you bring the equipment. Nice little paper doll here that we can dress up in all the various stuff that we're gonna find. And there's gonna be a lot of equipment to find. I think the 1.0 added like 400 more items. That is quite a number. Don't need to bring food here really. And sometime later I'm gonna rearrange stuff. I have my own system, even though you can just configure everything. And then all the stuff you get just automatically gets sorted into these tabs. But there are some problems with that. At least there used to be. Okay, so now we are fully decked out. Let's visit the station. And this one is peaceful, so nothing bad is going to happen. But if I were to take this secret data, that is our starting mission item. So either bring it to Ancom, Tatslan, or as it turns out, Realware. And yep, I can just give them the data. They got no cargo for us, but that's okay. Bam. Okay. And now we get a nice little assortment of things. We unlock a new mercenary. Jacques Kenneth. I don't remember this one. Nice little 4-row backpack. That's gonna help us massively. Sawn-off shotgun. Laser-sighted pistol. And a bloodbath pattern armor. Oh, look at that. Looks really nice. Alright. Thank you very much. Oh, and it doesn't even fit. Well, Here we go. Alright, mission accomplished. And I think we just have to wait for a little bit of in-game time. And then something should happen. Let's unlock the new character. And since we have it anyway, let's deck Francis out in bloodbath pattern. I hope the name is indicative. And his class is about SMGs, so even though pistols are better, ammunition economy wise, you're not really gonna gain much. Shotgun or baton? Well, let's go with the baton for now. Alright. What is this? New information about Ancom. That's always interesting. You made the right choice to bring the data to us. There's no better arbiter of the UNCAP system than RealWare. We will contact you if your services are needed. Okay, so we started down on that road. And now the missions are flowing in. That's good. But none of those in here. Unfortunate. Generally, you don't really want to move too much around. Going to Earth seems like an obvious idea, because it's close by. But the Quasimorphs in Earth are actually pretty tough. So you're better off just going to Mercury, even though it takes a little longer. If you go to Venus, most of it is actually controlled by Tetslan. So it's not generally a good idea to be going either for or against them this early on. What I usually end up doing is just traveling back and forth a couple of times. Hope for some mission to pop up. Conquest and defense. It's way too early for us to be involved in that. We can do espionage. Infiltration's a little tougher. In that one you usually get spawned better teams of enemies that you have to hunt down. Pretty low power though. And this is the reality of the early game. Unless we get the upgrades to our base going, there's gonna be a whole lot of doing nothing really.
We'll leave it the way it is, and wait for us to come back home. Roger, out. You are going for the orbit. Roger, in.
Oh, and look, we got some. And they actually look doable. I do like that. So we got one elimination with Planet Bridge. Or escort with Civil Resist. And in here, Civil Resist Robbery versus Sunlight Coven Security. We're gonna go with that one. Because it's short and easy, from the looks of it. So this is how it works. We're gonna click on the mission, and here you see the beneficiary, that is the one we are working with. And the victim, you're gonna gain reputation with the beneficiary, obviously, and lose about the same with the victim. But here's this button where you can switch sides. And the mission itself is changing. So obviously the robbery mission is to steal a specific type of valuables from each floor. Which I don't want to do, because that would help the Civil Resist. So we switch. And then we have to protect the place from the looters. I think that is more doable. Okay, so Kenneth, let's see what you do. You see, each of these characters have their own stat spread. Okay, he has rather low max health, but all the points are in shooting accuracy and pretty high max fullness too. Oh, that's a very low pain threshold. That would be a problem, but he shoots extra projectiles and reloads faster. That's actually pretty nice. I think I might want to make him my main. Looking nice. Alright then. We're gonna prevent the squads from reaching the station. Which means we're gonna hunt them down. And they're not gonna be staying around. Oh, and of course you're gonna jam my signal, huh? Okay, that usually happens in maps like this. There are items that are disallowing you the map. Oh, and we start with the first one. Okay. Over here you see the action points. We can go between stealth, normal and running. The enemies also have their set amount of action points. You see that below the health bar. And over here you see the little icon, whether they have a ranged weapon or a melee one. So this one has a shotgun, which is pretty short range, so we're not in any danger right now. And I'm actually gonna risk a shot at this guy, because this is just a straight path. And in case we overpenetrate, we actually can have a chance of hitting this. As you can see. Oh, I did not know this actually works. Looks like the shotgun that he shot us with both hit us and didn't. We just had very nice armor, so we absorbed all of it. And immediately I fractured your chest. So you're taking damage per turn. And you're gonna get damaged every time you move. Which means we're basically done with you. So let's stay here. And wait for them to come. Like so. I think that guy just bled out. Bam. Oh, sneaky little bastard. Take this. Okay, let's do this. I usually like just running with whatever I'm looting. That usually has a better chance of finding ammunition as well. Red front. I cannot grab at least a couple armor items for the guys back home. That makes things easier. I think this might be the worst pistol in the game. Really fitting, considering that who's the one using it. Okay, this is just glass, by the way. We can just shoot it to break it. The enemies will also not hesitate to do that. Okay. Ah, there we go. There's our jammer.
All personnel, hold the line.
Oh, that one was a friendly, from the looks of it. Okay, now, in the early access versions, used to be that you have to destroy these things. But that actually changed. So now you only have to shoot them once to disable them. You can hear the sound, now it's powered down. You can still shoot it to destroy it. But the problem with that. Also, I usually just went with melee, as to not waste any ammo. But now they actually explode when you destroy them. And that's a nasty surprise. Yep, you're with us. And now we can see. Ah, this place is clear already. Ah, that's the random generated nature of the game. Sometimes you actually get a mission that is basically already done for you. Especially the kinds where you have some friendlies on the map. They usually deal with everything before you even have a chance of seeing the enemy. And you will not realize how much of a godsend that is until you get a little deeper into the game. So now all we have to do is go down. "14 targets to kill, and now you can see them. We have to hunt them down. Just gonna grab some food. And there, back there. Okay. Free blood bag. Always nice. Okay, and the one thing I dislike about these types of maps is these doors. As you can see, they're actually made of glass. So they are very fragile. You have 2 action points, so... There we go. Get wrecked, idiot. This one is in marginally better shape, so we're taking that one instead. Nice. And now the noise is going to cause all the others to come and investigate. There you go. You see their name shows up in yellow, and they are part of the mission. Okay, and the others are not nearby. You always have to be on the lookout, so as not to get surrounded. And we got a medical machine here. Maybe we can craft something nice. Okay, come just a little closer. How did I do? Just a little laceration. Okay, pistol. They're basically impervious to small caliber firearms at this point. So let's do some bloodbath. Actually, let me get a little further back and reload. That's more like it. Yep, you're gonna bleed out if I move away from here. I think that's something a lot of people don't do. Actually, check the enemy for damages. As you see, this one only has 3 health left. And we got its stomach lacerated, so it's gonna take damage for every AP it spends. So we don't even need to waste any ammunition on that one. And there should be one more. There it is. And it has 2 action points. You can see by the way they move. So I think he can see us from here. Nope. There we go. Okay, and now the rest are going to investigate. That's actually nice. Bring it on. You got a shotgun. Effective range of 3. Okay, looks like the AI is ever so slightly smarter. Because they used to try to bum rush you with shotguns. Okay, that's more like it. Now let's eat, as long as you have almost full level. You actually regenerate. That's very nice. Okay, we just need to grab the attention of this guy. Come on then. And all the others. That's a slow one. Oh, and you fractured me. Even through my awesome armor, you bastards. Okay, so, fracture. Whole lot of debuffs that I do not like. And over here on this side, you get all the things that could potentially be used to treat your body parts. You also got short pipes and springs here, because you see, this is for robotic body parts. We do have a splint. However, if you run out, you actually can just substitute it with plastic. It has a chance to cause infections, and the overall heal chance is pretty low. But actually, if you fail to heal the wound, you can just try again, and you get a stacking plus 5% heal chance. So as long as you have basic rags and plastic, you can treat any wound. Now it is stabilized. So most of the negatives are not applying. Especially the damage over time. And it has a 70% chance of going away. Okay, anyone else? Yep. And I have no more spare shotgun ammo left. Well, might as well. And we didn't heal it. Well, plastic time it is. And if the 30% works the first time, then you will finally understand that percentages in this game are much like in XCOM. Oh, free booze. We're mostly gonna just use those for upgrades. One funny thing that I really like in this game, don't actually want these, is that when you make a kill box and just kill a whole lot of people, their corpses not only pile up, but will actually turn into a pile of corpses that is an obstacle. Then they actually have to stop and break it down. It's pretty wild. Okay, this one has a robotic knee. Must have been an old guy. Okay, how many do we have? 2. All the way over here. Well, it was very nice of them, just coming over here to be killed. Okay, early on you're gonna want to take a couple stacks of rags every single time. But later on this becomes just one of those things that you always get and you always leave behind. Cannot take one more backpack for the next guy, you know. Oh, free cigarettes. They're not worth much now, but they will later, eventually. Let's take a look at this medical machine. It has basically 3 charges. If you have batteries in your inventory, you can recharge them. You can see, it takes 10 batteries. Bandages, splints, mustard plaster, hydrogel bandage. These on-site crafting machines are actually very nice. You can get stuff that you need a higher level recipe for. Sure, give me some bandages. There we go, these are gonna be useful for later. Just some rotten burgers. At least they are rotten, you know. It's not like McDonald's stuff, that it's so full of preservatives that it cannot even rot. And you had an entire robotic leg. Not in the market for that. Mostly because robot legs actually remove your ability to run, which is never a good idea. Okay, they are close. And because we got a head wound, we have a chance of vomiting every turn. That is the gross sound that you're hearing. There we go. Come here. There we go. Mission accomplished. And now we call for evacuation. Then we have to go back to the elevator. And we are done. That's a depleted machine. And that's the end of that. Oh, rusty metal. I'm actually going to grab that. They're actually much more valuable than you would think. There are various recipes that require them now. But yeah, first real mission accomplished. Very nice. We gained and lost some reputation. Cloning control system. Ooh, a nice laser handgun. And the Valkyrie squad class. I don't even remember this one. Very nice. And a lot of melee repair kits, which I did not ask for. But thank you all the same. And now we just deposit everything. I'm not planning on keeping this shotgun, but there is an upgrade that allows you to disassemble stuff in the cargo hold. So I'm just holding on to this one for that. And there we have it. Greetings, mercenary. Some time ago you gave us some very interesting information about Ancom. Yep, it was like a couple hours ago. I believe that you chose us for a reason. RealWare is the only corporation that guards the interests of the UNCAP system. We are its true defenders. Turns out that Ancom has made great strides in quasimorphic research. According to information from the PCPU, we're not even talking about decades of research there. To delve so deeply into quasimorphosis, one would have to start long before the Great Anarchic Revolution. Now I understand why Dr. Manning is considered the genius. He had a very good start. Okay, whole lot of lore bits that we have no context for, but it's okay. We've given you the data needed to hack a PCPU, perform any espionage mission for Ancom, hack their device, and we'll get into their close network. Let's find out what Ancom really is. Okay, so now that is what we need to do. Interesting. Now I don't want to do this elimination quest, because it's a bit demanding. This has a concentration of 810. That's actually doable. This one's 540. That's even better. So we're gonna be making our way back up here, I think.
We can terminate orbit, sir. Confirm charge and go. You are go.
Oh, you mean for Ancom, not against Ancom. Okay, my bad. I misread it. Okay. Now let's tinker a little bit. Obviously, this is our ship, our moving base. And we have all these little segments, and each of them have their own upgrade tree. As you can see right here, quite substantial. And you start every game with the ability to buy the conveyor belt. So now we can actually craft stuff. And as you can see, you already start with some basic recipes for items, but we're gonna be on the lookout for many more. And the most important thing, early game, in my experience, is the navigation tree. We have to start with monitoring here, because this is the thing. Oh, they increased the reload. Aye. Yeah, it was very cheesable, but anyway. This monitoring is going to allow us to manually generate missions wherever we are. So we don't have as much downtime, just moving back and forth. It is very, very useful. Dare I say critical. And of course it has upgrades to the reload times, number of charges, and the stuff you gain from these generated missions. And a little down the line, you got the scanners. This is also very important, because once you have this, you will automatically have the map revealed. That is extremely important, so you can chart your path accordingly. So, I've been at it for about an hour. I think this is a fair enough introduction. Let me know what you think about this game, or how you would like these episodes to be structured. Currently I'm thinking doing like 2 or 3 missions per episode, depending on how long they are. But we will see. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.